Guys, when I said port 80 was HTTP, that is from this default ports list. So these are few default ports. This is not the complete list, but this will give you an overview. SMTP is simple mail transfer protocol. If you are using mailboxes, you will send and receive emails, right? So that uses SMTP protocol in the background, and that is predefined as port 25. Okay, you can customize it and use some other port, but port 25 is the default port. HTTP port 80, HTTPS 443, FTP 2021. Telnet, IMAP, RDP, SSH. So these are the default ports, guys. Okay. So if you want to access FTP of a particular machine, what you will do? FTP colon IP address. So if I try to give this information, that means it is contacting on 20 and 21. But if it is a custom port, say 2020 is the port, not 20, then you have to mention that port number. Does it make sense, guys? If you don't mention a port here, it will use default port. If you mention a port here, it will use that particular port. So guys, do you understand this? Yes, no? Okay, I'll take that as you guys understood this ports.
Much better.
So if I can finish iscsi and NFS today, we have only one topic which we can talk, and failover cluster, I'll just share a video with you guys. Or if possible, I'll finish all the three today. Will you guys be available? Or it's okay, we will try to finish things as much as possible. Maybe I'll finish iscsi today. Tomorrow we will finish NFS and disk handling, and failover cluster. I'll share the video with you. So maybe tomorrow will be our last class on Windows. Then we will start VMware. So configuring iscsi initiator on Windows 2019. So guys, I'm showing you screenshots first, then I will show the same thing in lab. Then I will explain the same thing in draw.io, the same process. Sorry. So look at this configure iscsi initiator. We will go in here, go into server manager, iscsi initiator. So see, there are two things, guys. If I this is initiator and this one is server target. So first thing we have to do is configure a target. Then we will configure an initiator. So if you guys remember in storage, so client machine will have initiator. I mean, this is doing an initiator. Now, if I have a storage box, which is providing storage, this one is doing server role, target. So in networking, you have client and server. In storage, it is initiator and target. This you guys are aware, right? Yes, no? I told you when you are attending networking class and storage class. So if you guys have forgot, you have storage basics here. Go through that video. So first we will look at configuring target. So server manager. All these are general things. One second, guys. Okay. So if you select the server and all, you have this file and storage services, file iscsi services and iscsi target server. So you have to start this one and install it. You guys know how to install a service. So once that is done, next thing is create a folder in which we can create a virtual targets. So I have gone into C drive and created a folder. Now I can go into server manager and you will see iscsi option. And you can create virtual disk wizard. I mean, you can click this and start a virtual disk wizard. So here I can choose custom path and choose that particular folder and click next. Here I can give any name for the virtual disk which I am creating. I can give, any capacity, dynamic and fixed size. You have few options. So normally in production, it will be a fixed size. Here, as this is lab, we will go with dynamic size. And here, assign iscsi target. You can assign this to a particular target. So if you guys have seen this, normally there will be an HBA card. So normally there will be an HBA card. This will play initiator role and a bigger HBA card here, which is called controller, and this will play a target role. So I can first target and all those, and I can mention who can access servers. So if you want, there will be so many servers. You can't let everybody access. You can mention specific IP who have to access. And one more thing is CHAP authentication. If you configure this, you have to configure it on both sides. Say, for example, if you are using Bluetooth, you will configure a password on your machine for people to access your Bluetooth. And on the target machine, or say you go into Bluetooth and set some password, the other party who has to connect should use the same Bluetooth name and the same password, right? Same thing happens here. You can enable CHAP or enable receivers CHAP, or you can enable both. It's up to you. And you need not have the same username and password in both places. You can have different username and passwords. So let's go ahead and create this. So you have file and storage services and you have iscsi here. Because iscsi is already installed, I guess. Let's look at that. Add roles and features. iscsi is initiated, but iscsi target server is not done. So let's add that. Guys, I hope you are following.
Yes.
Are we clear so far?
Yes,
Just
sir.
installing iscsi target service. Now, next option is go into C drive and create a placeholder, a folder. Now I will come here and create iscsi virtual disks. Custom path, click on browse. I've selected this folder, click on next, give a name. Okay, maybe disk 1 is the name I'm giving. Maybe 5 GB. I'm leaving all defaults. So if there is an existing target, you will be able to select that. As there is none, I'm selecting a new target. So name, I'll say AD, or I mean, maybe this machine's name, or I can give anything. So who should access? Say if I want everybody to access, I will say this is like everybody can access. But this is not safe to do. We will add a target of other machine we have. Say we have Windows 10, right? We will make this a client or initiator later. Let's turn it on. So 102 is the IP address of this machine. So I'm choosing IP address. I'll say OK. So here I can enable chat. This is like Bluetooth. I'll give a username and password here. A username and password here. On the other side, whenever I mean from the initiator side, I should also configure the same username and password and connection will be made. Here I'm not doing it. So create. So what do I have here? I have virtual disks, disk one created. I have iscsi targets, AD create. Okay. Are we clear so far? Now let's go into initiator. So here we have to do the initiator part. We can do it on Windows 2019 or Windows 10. In Windows 10, it is little different. Okay, let's see. You have iscsi initiator. You just have to click on this one. It will ask if I can start the service. You can say yes. And your initiator is done. So you can go into discovery. So let's do quick connect. So AD target. If you go here, this is the IQN AD target. So when I search with IP, I got this one. I will say OK. And it is connected now. So if it doesn't say connected, inactive or something, you can click on connect and it will connect. So here you can go into advanced and configure CHAP and all those things. If you have configured all those. So once you see connection, once you see connected, then you go into disk management. Okay, not from here. I'll go here. This PC manage. See here, you will have disk management. And do you see this 5 GB disk appearing here? Yes, no. This is uninitialized. So this is how you can present a disk. So for your sake, let me add one more disk here. So I'll again go with custom path, iscsi targets. So disk 2. So maybe 10 GB. I'm selecting existing target, guys. So I have a new target created and presented to the same target. And initiator, the same 102 is connected. Now, if you can see here, you have 5 GB and 10 GB, 2 disks. Are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
So is this a big deal?
No.
Yeah, this is pretty simple. Now, I mean, using these disks will come into disk management. We will talk about disk management. So we will put iscsi to this extent. You guys have any more questions on this one?
No.